See, someone's here. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is probably, oh shit, pissed off sound live right now. That's fine. This is going to be an abnormal stream for me. It's not going to be about the typical stuff I usually engage in. And it's pretty much a one direction. And it's pretty much of a rant. And it's more about me coming out of my shell a little bit too, which is which can be a little bit intimidating, can be, but I'm probably not going to let that happen. It's just me breaking through a shell a little bit more. I don't normally follow and support auditors. Well, I follow auditors like crazy, more than anything. And I only support auditors as far as, what I'm able to do and what I'm capable of doing as far as financially. I've given a little bit here and there to a couple of other media groups that I like, but they're not able to stream as much as the auditors are. I think it's because the content, the auditors have more 35 and up people in it, whereas the other people don't. The other channels that I have, it's really a mixed crowd, so they can get a lot of different types of personalities in there. So anyway, this is how it is in my life for me right now, and yeah, let's see, hold on, I'm gonna go to my channel, and gonna let my buddy know that I am live. See if he wants to head on over. This is going to be a support stream. Not a support stream, it's more of a rant stream for the kids that I follow, the in real life kids. They've got nothing to do with rights. They've got nothing to do with anything like that. But I want to do a little rant for a couple of the ones that I pay close attention to. The ones that have actually brought me a lot of laughter, and just basically kind of live vicariously through them with the stupid shenanigans they do and the stupid crap they do. And I got a problem with one of the people that kind of does that but doesn't. Okay, I'll start out with the title here. The title is Ice Poseidon, Asian Andy, Burger Planet, Rant. Ice Poseidon is the in real life streamer that's famous. He's pretty famous. Like if I go look at his channel right now, let's see, the auditors can get, up to 150 people or whatever. He hasn't been on. He's been having technical difficulties now for the last 15 minutes, and he still has 7,700 viewers. And then Asian Andy's another one, and usually Asian Andy has, a few hundred viewers as well. Burger Andy, Burger Planet, Burger Andy, big problem for me. This guy's a leech, a liar, a two-faced scumbag who, and he does this online. Like, he's all the Andys were created by the Purple Army. Purple Army is a group of people that were playing these certain online video games, stuff that I'm not into at all. And the only reason I know about any of this is because of Ice Poseidon and some of the stupid stuff that I've seen him do. It's where I learned about the phrase swatting, which is awful. People have gotten killed doing that, and it's fucking insane and ridiculous. And I don't know why anybody would do it to him, but this stream is about him, primarily him, Asian Andy, and then Burger. Burger was called Burger Andy by Ice Poseidon, Asian Andy, and basically all their followers and all the people from the Purple Army that were in this group that had these teams. They played, I think it was RuneScape, online, and you know, they would be the Purple guys, called themselves the Purple Army. And then Ice Poseidon started doing these live streams where he would just go film whatever, or not refilm, but record him being out and about in society, doing whatever. And then his look, his voice. He has a really unique, oddly low voice. He's in like his early 20s, and he's got a voice like someone who smokes 15 packs of cigarettes a day, and I don't think he smokes at all. I don't think other than occasionally maybe some weed, if that. But I mean, it sounds like it's real rolly, like it's just he sounds like he's been DJing for years. Anyway, so he's tall and lanky, 6'1", 6'2", probably 160, 170 pounds, very lean. And has a pretty big nose. Kind of odd looking sometimes. And anyway, so I started watching. I don't know, something happened. He had this really strange haircut. It would be all buzzed hair, and it was really curly and grew on top. And these videos that I would see him in looked like they were out, you know, like 20 years old. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I kept seeing his name pop up under these entertainment videos, and it's like, I'd watch this dude with a badass mic, which didn't look like it was from the 80s or 90s, and, you know, a fucking webcam, which obviously wasn't from the 80s or 90s, but the quality of the, you know, of the video I was seeing was shit. Well, I finally learned out why it was and what was going on, and then I started following him. And a lot of his mannerisms are really funny. He's very animated, how he interacts with just even himself. He's all over the board as far as like what he likes to do, like his political stance is like he's an atheist and a Trump supporter, which is like, you know, it's all over the place, which is weird. It's funny to see. It's like, you know, someone being an ultra, you know, like well shit, I mean, an atheist and a Trump supporter, that's kind of both, you know, both ends. But I literally sometimes live vicariously through the guy, and through Asian Andy too. Asian Andy does a lot of really good stuff as well. He's Vietnamese, actually, I believe it is what he is. And one of the things he does is he crashes these weddings just about weekly. He'll crash a wedding, and he gets pretty ballsy. And they're very adolescent, 20s and early 20s. No offense, guys, if you guys ever see this. Ice Poseidon and Asian Andy, and Burger, they're pretty adolescent. Burger's in his 30s. Burger Planet is he's dedicated to, like, I think he was like a food critic editor type, not editor, but like a food critic streamer type guy, and he turned me on to something called the Meat Mountain from Arby's, but I hardly ever have fast food. But when I was in town the last time, or actually out of this near town, I was buying Arby's, and I'm like, I'm trying one, and it's a fucking good sandwich. It's a hidden menu item, so I got to thank Burger Planet for that. Burger Andy, which I will call you on this stream and my channel, is he left California to live streaming for hours on that. Ice Poseidon live streamed for 10 to 12 hours at a time, pretty regularly, from what I remember. People come from all over the world to visit him. And then Asian Andy, same thing. He was streaming a lot. These guys keep getting banned. They keep, you know, doing stuff that happens. They keep, it's weird because three of them probably lived within a 3-mile radius of each other, or a 5-mile radius of each other in California. So they might sometimes see each other on their streams while they're out and about. And people would always follow them and look up where they were. And as soon as they arrived somewhere, Ice Poseidon especially, as soon as he would hide his location. And if he showed one thing, like the entrance to where he was going, no name of any kind on it, but you could see the back, what was behind him across the street, boom, you'd hear the business phones start buzzing off the hook, just going crazy. And with Asian Andy, they even started, well, Ice was in Ibiza within the last year. And they started doing it to him there, anywhere he went. And then Asian Andy, he went to Thailand recently, and the same thing there. He'd walk in and boom, they started phone like it's holy fuck, man. And I don't think Asian Andy's anywhere near as big as Ice, but either way. So based on what he does and the things he does, and some of it's pretty stupid. Like I said, adolescent. Some of it's very fucking entertaining and hilarious, and some of it is just helping, giving back. Like, a lot of racist stuff too, which it's all a joke. Actually, it's 100% jokes, and there's all kinds of racial undertones in this chat room, and people calling and donate like all these profanities and homosexual, like pornographic audio clips, and just kind of like just to completely fuck with each other. But it's freedom of speech, and Agent Andy would even be like, let someone come on and pay just so they could say the word repeatedly, nigger, 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 nigger. And all Agent Andy would do was say, hey, I respect your freedom of speech. Thanks so much for the donation. I thought that's fucking great. It's like, people are going to pay to say that? Like, how stupid is that? But it made me laugh, and I would keep watching because it didn't bother me at all. It's fucking whatever, if you're one of the people that shit like that bothers you, especially on the internet, on a channel where they promote freedom of speech, other than threats, then, you go somewhere else. There's there's snowflake rooms there for everybody out there on the internet. So, my big problem, love what Ice does, still love what Ice does. He's slowed down the streaming a lot. I think I think Asian Andy has too, but they've gotten banned from other sites, and it's like a pain in the ass, and they have to deal with all this bullshit and all these hoops that they got to jump through, and they have to make multiple channels sometimes, and then sometimes those other channels get banned, and a couple of them can occasionally make some good money. Ice makes he doesn't earn. Basically, it's kind of like sales, $20,000 a month, but his bills are probably close to 15 grand a month. With all the shit he does. I mean, he was always taking Ubers and going and buying random shit and buying someone a phone, and he was like always doing this shit to provide stuff for the viewers. It costs a lot of fucking money. Well, they met up with this guy named Burger Planet. I started hanging around with him. Burger Planet's a whiny bitch. I hope to someday be able to say this to his face. I'm way older than the general demographic for any of these guys. Like I said, very adolescent. I'm still pretty fucking adolescent, but I'm nowhere near what these guys are. Not the streamers. Well, the streamers too, but they're following. I mean, they literally have 12-year-olds following them, which is like, Ice Poseidon was at an event once, and a 12-year-old kid was literally walking around following him. And doing the stupid dabs thing. It's like, what the fuck? And that kid is pretty creative and good for him, but it's like, I've gotten so much entertainment and so much positivity and laughter and humor coming through into my life, which is something crucial for this point in my life. And lately I've been feeling really fucked up physically, and I think there's something going on. Well, I know there's going something on my liver. Whether or not it's got to do with all this other shit going on, very could likely be. It's like, and I haven't had a drink since December 29th, and even then I wasn't drinking quite as heavily as I've seen other people drink anyway. Along comes Burger Planet. So they, of course, Ice Poseidon calls him Burger Andy. Ice was making a tiny homeless shelter, literally with like no skills at all, out of some plywood and nails and a hammer, on Skid Row, and some dude comes up and he, what his name is, something, they call him Salmon, like the fish, they call him Salmon Andy now. So pretty much anyone Ice and his following see or meet, it's something Andy. And I don't know if it's a reference to Andy Milonakis, because most of these people know who Andy Milonakis is as well, who's a funny son of a bitch as well. But, so, Burger Planet comes along, and Ice calls him Burger Andy. And Burger Planet starts showing up at pretty much everything that's happening between Ice Poseidon and a guy named Cornbread and Mexican Andy and Asian Andy. And I'm thinking they were probably even kind of friends at some point, gave each other their numbers, you know, and would call each other for different things, doing different streams. And Burger would go hang with Andy, Andy would hang with Ice, Ice would hang with Burger. Then a couple chicks came in and out as well, which really not a good idea. But Burger Andy takes it upon himself to, for whatever reason, he claims, to get away from all those idiotic, adolescent, stupid, fucking worthless kids that are nothing but racists and Trump supporters and, you know, and fuck Trump, which is fine. Fuck them. They're fucking scumbags. They're losers. His entire drive out to the East Coast, and he's like streaming his whole drive until he stops. And he's an alcoholic, clearly. His streams primarily consisted of him in LA going to a bar and drinking with a clown. That's what he would do. And, you know, everybody else was doing their thing, you know, going and creating some decent content. He was going to a bar and drinking with a clown. So I started watching him because he was the only one up late nights like I was. And I'm watching all this shit talking he's doing. I mean, he got a lot of subs and a lot of attention, subscribers, and a lot of attention and a lot of viewers because of Asian Andy and Ice Poseidon and Mexican Andy and another guy, Black Andy. And it's because of them, he got any kind of notoriety or recognition to begin with anyway. Thanks so much for the thumbs up. That's fucking badass of you. Hey, if you could give this thing a thumbs up, from what I've heard on YouTube is the way the algorithms work, it'll get a little bit more recognition and a little bit more attention. So while you're on, maybe you can do that. And who knows, maybe at some point Ice would love to, you know, we'll jump on and watch my stupid fucking stream about him and Burger Andy. I can't read the chat right now. I'm not really going to, because it's a completely different genre of a personality that I'm actually focusing to or around. But this guy, man, I couldn't believe the shit he was saying about these people that were really fucking very inclusive of his fucking insane behavior and paranoid. And great actor. Dude's fucking Burger Andy. Very talented. He can sing. He can do impersonations. He's a very good comedic personality. But he's got fucking issues. And some people say these other guys got major issues. But this dude, I've been around the psych game for a long time. I've done a lot of work with people that are really heavily versed in psychological and psychiatric care and schooling. And people with masters, people with bachelors in the industry. And I could say that, first of all, everybody's got issues. We've all got issues. Ice has some that probably a few more people don't have, because he's got a lot of reason to be paranoid and fucking has severe anxiety about everything with the way people have swatted him in the past. It's fucking bullshit. Like I said, it's very dangerous. It's unhealthy. And but this Burger guy, I think he just suffers from a different kind of depression. He gets up all the time. He's out doing stuff all the time. He makes up these stories about living in a van, and then when he's driving out east, he ends up living with his roommates, who was actually his parents' place, but it wasn't. He was just staying at one friend for the night, and it's like nothing consistent about the guy. And he starts slamming on Asian Andy and Mexican Andy and Ice Poseidon and all these guys and talking all this shit about him, and it made me sick. And a lot of people think some of the stuff is, you know, scripted and this and that, and it's not. I mean, I think a couple things are here and there, but you got to come up with some kind of ideas after you've been doing the shit as long as they have, because they got to come up with some kind of content. They got to come up with an idea. You can't just walk around, because Ice Poseidon would walk around and people would talk shit to him and start trying to fight him. And he's like, none of these guys like go out to fight. That's not their thing. It's, you know, it's not about fighting. If anything, it's about, you know, hooking up with chicks at the very least. But even more so than that, it's about talking to the viewers and trying to interact with the viewers and have a life that brings them outside of themselves. And the fucking disrespectful behavior and shit that Burger Andy was saying about these guys during the whole trip out there. And then he would, you know, he the whole trip, he said he was moving away and he was staying away from the West Coast. People are fucking judgmental, they're hateful, he can't stand this and that. And the only girls he liked, he's got red hair and a really odd looking face. I mean, I've got an odd looking face and I'm fat, but trust me, this dude's a fucking freak looking. And the only girls he likes are black. That's weird. So I think he's one of these white apologists for people who aren't black or Mexican or, you know, brown skinned. But whatever. Okay. That's his deal. But so he like does all the shit talking the entire way out there. And then for whatever reason, you know, he's done and he's staying, oh, he can't stand LA. He's never coming back. Less than a month later, he's coming back and driving back and driving back. And sure as shit, one of the streams I see, he arrives in LA. That same day, he's doing a live stream with Ice Poseidon. And then Agent Andy. All these people he fucking hates and they're such losers. And if you call anybody in his chat room, Burgers now, Andy, you get an automatic ban. If you say the N-word in his chat room, automatic ban. If you say the letters CX, which is an Ice Poseidon thing, in his chat room, automatic ban. If you talk about the Purple Army in his chat room, automatic ban. And he's like, giving no fucking credit to the people that pretty much got him there to begin with. And now he's got over 10,000 subscribers. Hey, that's fucking great. Fantastic. He didn't have that shit when he left. And it's just weird that he, you know, would go and talk all this shit. I just can't imagine someone being that fucking ungrateful and talking all that shit about these people. Hey, you know what? If they're not your type of people, why did you ever start hanging out with them to begin with? I think Ice is hilarious. He smokes, like I said, he smokes weed from time to time. Their kids, they all get a little too much to drink from time to time, and I get that too. But I don't have to be around there for that, and I don't have to watch them when they're doing that. And it's like, I got nothing but fucking respect for, because some people think it's fucking stupid, and it's easy. Ice Poseidon's the one that made $5,000 sleeping one night. Well, he wasn't sleeping at all. He was letting people come and call in and wake him up with his fucking speakers fucking cranked, ain't saying anything they want. And it was wicked, some of the shit they did. And then he upped his game and started letting people show up and fuck with him. And getting shot with paintballs. And then he created something called UFC X. And or they're going to have a backyard fight type thing, you know, with boxing gloves on and headgear. And then now they're going to have a UFC X2, if I haven't missed it. But I mean, it's like, you know, Ice and he's got a manager and he's like really big time and really serious. And the walking and the toll it takes on the body or any of their bodies is like really fucking insane, man. And they need the best kind of equipment. I mean, Ice usually walks around like 10 grand in equipment on him, which is scary enough. And it's like, I just can't believe the fucking lack of respect that this burger guy, Jerome, I think his name is, shows toward these people at all. And like, he's a fucking scumbag, man. And I would love to be able to say this shit to his face once, although it wouldn't matter. I don't think it would matter. I think everybody close to him could tell him that, and it wouldn't matter. He's completely narcissistic. He spent a good 40 minutes talking to Andy Milonakis, who is a MTV legend, and still pretty legendary, who was giving him advice the whole time. He kept asking Andy for advice, and he kept interrupting him. Every, like, 20, 30 seconds, he would just start talking over him and just ignoring him. Like, just him and him, Burger and Andy, sitting there talking. And he would just, you know, he had his live stream going on his onesie stick or whatever it is, the onesie stick. And he would constantly just fucking interrupt him. And it's like the guy has he's got zero respect for, he doesn't respect himself very much. He's got lack of respect for a lot of fucking people, man. And really doesn't know how to show his gratitude for shit. So, sorry to have gone on this long, but I needed to do some explanation about who these people are why they're doing what they're doing, how they become who they are from what I've seen, and what they mean to me in my life. And I'm way out of the age demographic for these guys. Way out. I'd say I'm maybe 2% in my age range that really follows these guys. So Ice, thanks so much for everything you do. You really fucking put yourself out there, man. Put yourself literally in harm's way on multiple occasions. Asian Andy, same thing. Andy Milanakis, same thing. Mexican Andy, for the most part, same thing. Burger Andy, you can fuck off. You're a piece of shit. Hey, you know what? If you ever see me post anything in your chat, it'll never be aggressive. It'll never be to, get to rile you up to get banned or anything. But if you see this and you want to ban me, by all means, you feel free and go ahead. It'll just tell me how much more of a fucking piece of shit I really think you are. And then the last thing is, I don't know if there's any truth to this. I know someone who is from, he was a video game designer for 10 years, and he knows several people in management for retailers like EB Games and GameStop, and there's a couple other ones out there. He says that they're creating a game called like a free world game, not free runner, but a free world game called Ice Poseidon Live Streamer. Who knows what kind of characters are going to be in it? Who knows what it's going to be like, what it's going to be about? But that is a game that, if it were true, would probably would be most convincing to me. Maybe actually buying a video game system again. And it's been a while since I've actually really loved video games. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've heard through the grapevine. I need to call a couple of these places myself to make sure, but my source is fucking golden, and I know I can trust that, so I think I'm going to take their word for it. But I'll still call a couple places myself just to back it up. But yeah, Ice Poseidon live streamer, due to come out in November of 2018. Month before Christmas, so it's probably going to be $600. Alright guys, that's it for this live stream. I might come on later for another one. I don't know, I fucking feel like hell. But it's good to talk about it. Hope to see you soon. Ice, maybe someday if I ever get a fucking car, I can come up there and, snipe stream your ass. Anyway, thanks again. I'm out. Peace. God bless you. If you don't believe in God, God bless you. Thanks for showing up, whoever you few people are that showed up.